Our planet has gone through numerous changes throughout time, and many of them triggered ice ages that killed and froze millions of living beings, both humans and animals alike. While the victims of such harsh cold environments are almost always lost to time, there are some exceptions where bodies of unique animals have been preserved by nature for thousands of years are discovered by scientists. Aside from the normal ice that we are all familiar with, there is a type called permafrost, which remains frozen for thousands of years below our land, and as the world gets warmer, the melting of the permafrost ice uncovers mysteries that we had never seen before. Such discoveries help scientists understand more about specifics that have become extinct today, which includes how they lived, what conditions they were accustomed to, and their relationships with other species that may be alive even today. And that's the topic for today, as we're going to take a look at 10 animals that were found frozen in ice. So hit the subscribe button on the bottom right, and let's not waste even a second and get right into our list. 10. The Tumat Puppy. The village of Tumat is located deep within the Sakha Republic region of Russia, and it's known for its extremely cold winters. In 2015, the frozen mummified body of a puppy was found, and it was quickly identified as a species of dog that has been extinct for approximately 14,000 years. There is a silver lining to this discovery outside of just the information, as the body of the puppy was preserved very well and its brain was found in a good condition. Scientists hope to use the puppy's DNA to someday replicate the species and bring it back. With how much technology has advanced in our time, that day might not be too far away. 9. The Yakagir Bison. Members of the Yakagir tribal community stumbled upon well-preserved remains of a male steppe bison in the year of 2011, nearby the region of Yakutia. It is considered to be in the best condition compared to the other two complete bisons that we've known of previously, and its hair samples gives us an estimation of it living approximately 10,500 years ago. Through research, it was concluded that this bison was larger than the ones that we have today and died of natural causes as no injuries were found. It weighed around 500 to 600 kilograms and was 1.7 meters tall around its shoulder blades. This discovery ultimately helped us understand more about the animal's behavior, as its stomach revealed that it lived on a vegetarian diet. 8. The Yuka Mammoth. The Yuka Mammoth may not be millions of years old like the dinosaurs, but they are still a very old extinct animal, which are estimated to be alive around 39,000 years ago, which was the last ice age that our planet experienced. It was found by Siberian tusk hunters, and to this day it's the best preserved mammoth carcass ever found. The best part in all this is the fact that its brain was almost entirely intact, which allowed scientists to deeply study it, and it was found that the mammoth's brain is not too different to that of a modern-day elephant. So while they couldn't initiate cell activation, there is hope that scientists might be able to replicate the animal back into existence someday. Before we continue with an awesome discovery by gold miners, please make sure you fully support us and hit the like button on this video. 7. The Colmar woolly rhinoceros. In 2007, gold miners discovered very well-preserved remains of a female holy rhino in the northern eastern side of Siberia. The rhino had a thick brown fur and skin to go with it, and a short tail covered with fur. Upon studying the carcass, scientists estimated that the rhino must have weighed around 1.5 tons and lived approximately 39,000 years ago, which was the most recent ice age we have experienced. Interestingly, scientists estimate that the short legs of this animal are what must have caused it to die, as the rising levels of snow buried it, leading to its mummification by nature. 6. The cave lions of Siberia. Half of Russia is covered in Arctic ice, so it's no surprise that it's the place for the next discovery that we're about to look into too. Scientists in 2015 discovered 2 Eurasian lion cubs deep inside the Yakutia region of Siberia, and their bodies were surprisingly intact, which allowed them to do detailed research. It was found that the lions lived more than 13,000 years ago and were twins. They died at a young age, and the cause of their death was more likely the collapsing of a cave rather than freezing in ice. Siberia was warmer at the time, so it makes sense that they were only frozen later on. The Eurasian lion was the largest lion in existence and fed on all different kinds of animals. Scientists have not yet figured out why they became extinct specifically, but they hope to learn more in time to come. 5. The Selerikan pony. Once again in the region of Yakutia, gold miners came across 2 legs and a tail that belonged to a mummified pony that was sticking through the roof of a tunnel. While most of the body of the animal was recovered, its head was the one part they couldn't find. After studying the remains, scientists believe that it was Przewalski's house, which is only found in Mongolia these days. But of course, the remains belong to a variation of that animal which no longer exists, having lived 35,000 to 39,000 years ago. It had a vegetarian diet and seems to have died quickly due to its gastrointestinal tract being full. 4. The Mysterious Tardigrade. Tardigrades are a very mysterious being, and they have been a subject of uncertainty within the scientific community for a very long time, being originally discovered as early as 1773. They can survive many different kinds of disasters, such as asteroid impacts, gamma-ray bursts, supernova blasts, and so on. They can even take over 100 times of more radiation than a human being can. This has caused people to believe it might even be something that came from a different planet due to their unparalleled resilience. They have mostly been recovered in places like Antarctica, frozen in solid ice but still alive. Not only that, they're also sometimes discovered in volcanoes in the bottom of the sea, rainforests, and more, and the research done on them proves that they are a force to be reckoned with. 3. The Fighting Moose. The moose is not an extinct creature, but they have been discovered frozen in odd places every once in a while. Nothing tops this story though, as these 2 moose in Alaska were found with their antlers locked, very evidently in the middle of a fight. Unfortunately, before they could decide who was the winner of this dramatic encounter, an avalanche fell upon their bodies and froze them inside, causing them to be stuck forever in the battle position. They were found by hikers in 2016, and while scientists did not discover anything new through their remains, it's still a rare sight to witness. 2. Frozen fox. A hunter found a dead frozen fox encased in an ice block in Germany. Where most people would call scientists or a zoo for assistance, Franz Stelly took the block of ice and displayed it in front of his family's hotel as a prize. Fortunately for him, there is no hidden history to the body of this fox, and it's simply a common animal that must have fallen inside cold water and found itself frozen. So, the fox remains a prized possession of the hunter to this day, visible to anyone who visits his family hotel. 1. The wolf's head. Going back to Siberia once more in 2019, a perfectly preserved wolf head was found in permafrost. While the rest of its body was missing, that did not stop scientists from learning a lot from the remains and came to learn that it is actually around 32,000 years old, dating back to the prehistoric days. The wolf was fully grown and the head is approximately 15.7 inches long, which is quite large in comparison to the modern-day grey wolf's head, which is usually around 9.1 to 11 inches long. Additionally, scientists extracted the animal's DNA and hope to be able to learn more about its past and perhaps one day potentially replicate it. And that's a wrap on today's topic. Despite how much we have uncovered from the ice, we're still just barely tapping at the tip of the iceberg. As the Earth warms up further and scientists develop better equipment, we will surely figure out more secrets about how life was long before we came into this world. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for immediate updates. We'll see you on the next video.